This is Access 2019, Module 3, Part 3. In this segment, we're going to create a multi-table query using query design, and then we're going to look at some of the ways that we can sort and filter the data once we have it in our query results. So let's get back into our Lakewood database. We're going to start out on create, and since this is not one of our named wizards, we're going to start with query design. This time we are going to add two tables. So we're going to add the patient table and the visit table. And we'll close this. Notice it shows us that these two tables are related using the relationships. Alright, we are going to create a table query, using the city field from the patient table. So I'll add that. Then I'm going to add the first name and the last name. Then from the visit table, I'm going to add the visit date and the reason. So you'll notice we have information now from two different tables. So we have the field and the table information showing here in Design View. We're going to go ahead and run our query. And you can see the results. You'll see that some patients, for example Tom Chang, are listed more than once because they've visited more than one time. We are going to save this query. So we'll click Save, and we will call it Patient Visits. So let's look at some of the ways that we can sort a query. So the first thing we want to look at are these arrows. These are similar to the filter arrows that we saw in Excel, and we can use these to sort. You can only sort by one field in these. So if we chose city and we chose A to Z, it would then sort all the records by the city. Notice up here on our ribbon we have some options also. So we can sort descending, and it will sort by the field that you have. So using these two buttons up here, the A to Z and the Z to A, work the same way as doing these two on that column. But what if what I really want is to be able to sort by two fields? So first I want to be able to sort by city, and then within the city, when the city is the same, I want it to sort by the date of the visit. To do a multi-field sort, you must do that in your design view. It takes the first sort that it finds, left to right, and that becomes the primary sort. So in the sort row, under the city column, we change it to ascending, and that becomes the primary sort. If the city is the same, then we come over to the visit date, and in the sort row of that column, we'll say sort it in descending order for the visits. And now when we click run, you can see that first it sorted all of the cities. So I'm highlighting all of Atlanta. And then it started with the most recent visit and went backwards in descending order by date within that city. When I'm sorting queries, I usually like to do the sorts in my design view because it's a more permanent sort. It sorts before the records are selected. So every time you run it, it will run the sort before you select the records, which is important with a few types of queries that we'll discuss later in the semester. And you can very easily see the sorts when you're in the design view. So that's usually where I do my sorting. So let's go ahead and save these changes. And we're going to look at a few of the sorting options. So let's say you wanted to sort, or filter options, excuse me. I can come in here just like we did with Excel. And I can use text filters and I can use the check boxes. And just like with Excel, I can filter and it'll build on each other. All right, so you can use these. But the one thing I do want to show you is this selection option. So if you go into a field and you select highlight a value, then when you use this selection button, it uses that value in your criteria. So you don't have to highlight the entire thing. You could say wellness contains wellness. You could say does not contain wellness. Oops, that's I was highlighting. You can toggle the filters on and off. I'm going to remove the filters very quickly here. Clear the filters from the city and from the reason. So if I wanted to say I want everything except wellness appointments, I can come up here and say does not contain wellness, and it would show me everything else. So this selection button allows you to use whatever piece of information you highlight as the filtering information. So for example, let's clear this and do another example. Let's say I wanted everything from 2021. So I could highlight 2021, say it has to end with 2021, and now it will only give me the transactions that happened in that year. The toggle filter allows you to go back to the full set of data without removing the query. So if you wanted to go back and look at all of the data and then be able to quickly apply your filter again, you can use this toggle filter to turn it on and off. Go ahead and clear that filter and save the sorted query.